My name is Megan Vickers. I'm a physiotherapist and Pilates instructor, and I specialise in anti and post-natal rehabilitation. And this is my Pilates for Pregnancy programme. Welcome to month 9, the last video in this series, the last one before we go off and have our babies. In this video we're going to be focusing on strength around the pelvis, but also opening up that pelvis with mindful control. So we're preparing for that labour, but also that postnatal phase where we need that strength to aid our postnatal recovery. So we're going to start with our warm-up in standing. So if we bring our feet together, we're going to go into mermaids first up. So mermaids is a great way to open up your waist, and if like me you've been getting a lot of discomfort through your ribs, it's one of my favourite exercises for helping with that. So we're going to open up our toes, line our heels up with our toes and soften our knees. And then you're going to bring one arm all the way up. Think about that as an extension of your waist, so all the way to your fingertips. Breathe in to reach, breathe out, stretch all the way over. And you can hold it here for as long as you want, but I'm going to encourage you to breathe in and lift that rib even more as you lengthen through the side of your body. Breathe out, come all the way back up. And again, softening those knees, the arms come up, you create that length and space on the side of your body, and then you come all the way over. And then you use your in-breath to stretch into your rib cage, and then come all the way back up. Let's do that again on each side. Try to keep your weight even across both feet, so the stretch stays in your torso, so you create that space for yourself back underneath your ribs again. Breath in, just going to expand that diaphragm, which is under quite a lot of pressure now. And we can do the same thing again in a wide plie. So wide plie will also get a bit of a stretch into our inner thigh. Excuse me. So if you're suffering from any pelvic gut or pain, just keep that plie a little bit closer together. There's no need to feel any pain or discomfort during these warm-up exercises at all. So we're going to drop down just into where you feel a little bit of a stretch through that inner thigh. I'm going to place my left hand down onto my knee as I go. Right hand comes up and all the way over. This is a little bit of pressure in that hand. We're not leaning on that too much. Lengthen, try not to rotate, but keep that side bend on. Breathe in. Breathe out, come up. We'll take that down the other way. The hand comes up and all the way over. Breathe into those ribs. Back up, straightening those legs, walking in. We're going to come into a few more stretches on the mat. So starting at one end of your mat, you're going to roll down towards the floor. When you do your roll down, try and think about every vertebra through your spine. So all the vertebrae in your neck, in your upper back, mid back, which is getting a little bit restricted with the weight of our babies, low backs, and then finally folding at our hips, keeping our chin on our chest. Just come to where you feel comfortable and then bend your knees wide and come into a 4-point kneeling position. We're going to take this into a thread the needle. Now I'm going to add a little variation. It's the hand that comes up towards the sky. I'm going to step that leg out to the side just to give that inner thigh a big stretch. Again, particularly if you've got anterior pelvic gut or pain, keep the leg in if you feel that's uncomfortable. Now we're going to open up towards that open leg. So the hand spins around, the opposite hand is strong, pushing the ground away. Breathe in, breathe out, thread that hand underneath the opposite arm. So you get this mid-back twist, really nice in between the ribs, stretching through your inner thigh as well. Breathe in, reach, breathe out, pull all the way back round, open your chest, breathe into the sky, breathe out and thread. Breathe in and reach. Breathe out and open. Last one, breathe in and reach. And thread. And return to the start. And the opposite side. So the leg steps out. And bear in mind it can feel very different left and right hand side. So you don't have to push through any discomfort if you feel it in your pelvis here. We're going to open up to the side of the room. Reach your fingertips to the sky. And then thread your hand underneath, stretching out across the floor, and then back up towards the sky. Breathe in and lengthen. Breathe out and rotate. Breathe in and twist. Breathe out and rotate. Coming all the way down. Knee comes underneath you. So work on a little cat ripple through our spine. So lift your chest, bring your chin down towards your chest. The crown of your head points down at the floor. Lift up your breastbone, lift up your first ribs, your lower ribs, and then your tummy back to your spine as you scoop under your tailbone. Now keep that upper body rounded as you release your tail. Let your baby come down towards the mat, let your ribs come down, your chest and heart come down, and you look forwards. Now in reverse, keep looking forwards, tuck under your tailbone. Lift baby towards your spine, tummy button comes in, ribs come in, chest comes in, and now you curl your chin to your chest. Let's do that again. So let's look forwards. Release our chest. Release our ribs, release our baby, arch our back. And then tuck tailbone, lift baby, lift chest, lift ribs, chin onto your chest. And then from the tail, keep that chin on your chest, release your tail, release baby, release chest, look forwards. And last time, chin to your chest, lift ribs, lift baby, tuck tail. Hold it here, tuck under your toes and walk your hands back either side of your knees, and then lift your knees up wide. Take your time, just bearing in mind that your blood pressure just might take a little moment to readjust. And straighten your legs. And then curl your body back up, reversing that roll down. So you're restacking your vertebrae one at a time, with your neck and head being the last roll out and lengthen off your body. Okay, so we're going to go through a bit more of a heart raiser now. So I've got an exercise band here with me, and we're going to come forward. So a little bit of a combined sequence here. So the first thing we're going to do is a leg lift and overhead arms, but then we're going to kick back into a leg extension. So it's going to be quite a long time down on one leg, so really good for getting that balance. If like me, you're feeling a little bit unbalanced at the moment, this is really good to challenge that. So we're going to have the band just, your hands hip width apart, your spine long, and your chin tucked. Okay, first relax baby, so make sure your muscles aren't gripping on at all. And then think about a back to front pelvic floor contraction, like a guide wire going from your tailbone to your pubic bone. Think about closing the pelvic outlets. Then think about lifting your pelvic floor up and in, like an elevator moving up through the middle of your body. Now when I do that, I can feel this kind of little hug going on at the bottom of my tummy, like I'm lifting baby up and in towards my spine. And you want to try and get that same sensation. If the pelvic floor cue doesn't work great for you, imagine just wrapping your muscles around your baby. Imagine giving your baby a hug, feeling baby lift up and in. Okay, so now we're going to try and maintain that. The band and the balance challenge will help us to do that automatically anyway. So the first thing we're going to do is raise our arms overhead and the right leg at the same time. So baby hug or pelvic floor lift, breath out, and the leg and the arms come up. Breath in, they come down. Now breath out, I'm going to pivot forwards, the leg goes back behind me. Breath in, return. Breath out, comes up. Breath in, come down. Breath out, pivot forwards, kick that leg back. And down. Now we're going to bring in the band. So we're going to come up, keeping that tension wide on the band at the top. Release that tension coming down. Tension on as the leg goes back. Tension off as the leg comes in. Keep that flowing. So got that out breath, drawing up, in breath, release, out breath, kick back, in breath, return. Out breath, pull the band, in breath, release the band, out breath, pull the band, in breath, release the band. So your goal is to try and keep those ribs flush with your body and the shoulders down away from your ears. So we don't want to hitch those shoulders as we come up. Keep that length in your neck so your shoulders are dropped. And hopefully starting to feel that leg you're standing on now, from your calf all the way up your leg to your bottom. Okay, 2 more times through. See if you can feel that baby hug just enhanced a little bit as you add on that effort. It's really good automatic control there. Okay, now we're going to take it out and we're going to hold it here. I'm going to breathe out. I'm going to do a little lat pull down as I hip twist my supporting, my lifted leg. Breathe in and return. So just give me 6 if you can. If you're too wobbly or if there's any pain through your pelvis, drop that foot to the floor and do a closed chain 1 for me. 3, 2, and 1. Lower that leg, lower the arms, and then for the last time, you're going to kick that leg back. And every time that leg lifts off the ground, you're just going to pull the band open. Soften that supporting leg so all those muscles are working. Out breath the effort. 3, 2, 1. And release. Good work, guys. Shake out that supporting leg. So now we're going to do that little sequence on the other side. Hopefully feeling your arms warming up nicely now as well. So we're hip width apart. We're just going to relax our tummies again. And then when we're ready, baby hug or pelvic floor contraction on your out breath. Feel baby lift up and in towards your spine. And then let's just get the flow of that movement first of all. So the arms come up, the leg lifts, out breath. In breath, release. Out breath, kick back, pivot forwards. In breath, return. Out breath. Out breath. Okay, now the band. So breathe out, pull the band wide, draw that leg in. Breathe in, lower down, release. Breathe out, pull back, lift that leg. Breathe in, release. You really feel that draw into your tummy as you lift that leg up. Drawing in that low tummy, and as that leg goes back, keep that tummy strong so you don't overarch your low back. The movement all comes from the hips. Your spine stays in neutral. Twice more, 3. And release. Really good. Okay, now we're going to hold it for hip twist. The arms come up, the leg comes up. You're going to pull on the band. You're going to breathe out and hip twist that lifted leg. Breathe in and return. So just going to hold it here. Breathe out, breathe in. Good. Add that extra little lat pull down if you can. Last 2. And 1. Leg comes down, now kick backs. So that leg comes behind you and you pivot forwards. Out breath, you pull the band open, drawing those shoulders down. So that long leg reaches behind you. Out breath to lift, in breath to release. Let's do one more. And release, shake out those legs. Now our last exercise in standing, we won't need the band so we can place that down. I'm just going to come into a plie again. Now the size of your width of your plie depends on how your pelvis feels. So if you do get any pelvic pain, then just narrow that a little bit. If you get a little bit of low back pain, then plie is actually really good because it builds muscle strength up around the back, gives you force closure and stability through your pelvis. So, but it's pain at the front. This might be a bit uncomfortable if you have that. So just make your feet a little bit narrower. So your toes are turned out, our knees are turned out. Imagine your back is on the wall behind you. And you're going to just lower yourself down that wall. So we're not coming forwards, just coming down that wall, okay? Now, baby hug. Imagine wrapping your muscles around your baby. Lifting through pelvic floor, breathing out, coming up. Breathing in, come down. Baby hug, pelvic floor. Release, come down. So you're just getting that functional activation of your pelvic floor and your deep core system. Really important for us who've had the baby. Every time you lift up any weight, including your baby, we want that pelvic floor and that core to snap on first of all. So making sure it's here now is really important. Okay, now I'm going to lift up the left leg for 8. So the heel comes up, still 50-50 weight bearing, biasing the calf on that side. It's getting this posterior chain really working. Okay, now we're going to change sides. So that heel comes down, the right heel comes up, we drop, and then we lift. Still get that pelvic floor co-activation coming on. Breath out, coming up, breath in, come down. And then the last challenge, coming down, heel down, coming down. Think about a clam movement, where we get that rotation from the hip. So I'm working on my left leg only, holding that plie, just trying to get a little wrap in of my thigh and a wrap open. Really getting into those deep seat muscles. Trying not to lean forwards, weight of baby's pulling me down. Keep that straight posture. 2, 1, press back. Now the opposite leg. So you allow that knee to roll in and you rotate that knee back. So you're just correcting that posture. Often when we do this, you might look down and see your knees want to fall in. So you're trying to access those muscles which correct that valgus movement. The ones which keep the knee out in line with your toe. 3, 2, and 1. Now slowly make your way back up with that pelvic floor lift and walk your feet back in. Brilliant, well done. Now we're going to come into a sitting position now, and you'll need a little mat just to give your bottom a lift. So a cushion or a sitting block is really, really good. Take your time and come into sitting. So when you're sitting on that block, that will just take the weight and pressure out of your hips a little bit. And because of the weight of the baby pulling you forwards now, if you don't have that lift, you might slump back. And that's not a great position for what we're about to do next. We want to have that lovely upright spine. So we're going to use the TheraBand, or an exercise band, around our feet. And we're going to have them out straight. So a little pull on those hamstrings. Again, if like me, they've got a little bit tight over the last few months, you'll need this little uplift, otherwise you'll start to round into your low back. So this lovely spinal posture. So from the side, should look like your ear is over your shoulder and your shoulder is over your hip. You've got a little arch in your low back and your chest is open. Now, if that posture is all set, when you start to pull on the band, you will feel your baby almost move up and in. It's harder to get that automatic pull of those muscles if you're slouched. But have a little feel the first few. So I've got my band crossed, my legs are hip width apart, spine is up, and I'm going to breathe out, I'm going to pull my elbows back, and I feel that through my tummy. If you want to work a little bit harder, think about that pelvic floor cue, tailbone to pubic bone, or that wrap of the muscles around your tummy. Try and get that sensation of, with every effortful pull, pelvic floor is working a little bit more. So feel that pelvic floor come on. 4, and you release as you release the band. So again, there's little pulses through that pelvic floor. Last 2, and 1. Now we're going to add in a little seated twist. So I'm going to open up the band so there's not too much tension on this. So when I do a seated twist, I'm going to bend my elbow into a row and look over that shoulder at the same time. Breathe in and return. Breathe out, bend elbow, look over that shoulder. Breathe in and return. Working those muscles in between your shoulder blades, those muscles running up and down the length of your spine, and also your tummy muscles in this position. Your arms are going to be nice and toned by the end of all of these as well. And last 4, 3, 2, 2, and 1. And the last challenge here. So we're going to cross over that band again, and we're just going to do some gentle bicep curls in front of us. So I want those arms slightly lifted up away from our body. Now straight away, that makes me want to feel like I'm tipping back. So I'm going to draw in through my core a little bit more, like I've got that elevator coming up through my spinal column or through the midline of my body. So I'm sitting up really, really tall, the arms are up in front, and from there, breathe out. I'm just going to add a little bicep curl, and I'm not going to go too heavy because I feel that working quite strong through my tummy. So just going to pull forwards and release. Make sure they're even there. Breathe out, breathe in and release. I'm trying to keep my chest open, and that tension through that upper body is to challenge my core muscles even more. Not to give me big bulging biceps, just to add that tension so I really feel the muscles through my core and through my spine really having to work to hold me in this upright position. 6 to go. Out breath with that little pelvic floor lift. 3, 2. And release. Now from that seated position, let's go into an open twist just to take that tension out of that mid-back that we've been working on. So I'm going to bend up my left leg, I'm going to wrap my left arm around it, then my right arm is going to come up and behind me. We'll place it on the floor just to give me a little prop to rotate round. So I'm in an open twist, I'm not closing down, so allowing the space for baby. And then I'm going to try and keep myself upright rather than falling backwards with that back hand. I'm going to look over that shoulder for 3 big breaths. Twisting with every out breath. And return. That leg's going to slide down, right leg's going to slide up. My right arm's going to wrap around there. My left arm comes up, open, hand behind, and lift your chest. Okay, so we're going to use that hand as a prop and twisting with every breath. Up and return. Now we're going to take this onto our side. So you can use that same block or cushion. Move with your legs together if you can, so there's no jerky movements. And then bring your cushion to the top of your mat and come and lie on your side. So we're going to do a combined upper and lower body movement here. So we're going to think about opening our pelvis, so in preparation for your labour. So when you're lying down on your side, your feet are in line with your hips. That's going to lift your top hip down towards your feet and open that bottom waist up. So we're going to be sinking into the mat. Now our baby's getting quite heavy. You may want to put a little towel or cushion underneath there just to help you, because it's hard to keep your baby lifted for that length of time. Okay, so from here, we've got that bent knee position, shoulders drawn down, ribs are flush. Hands are on top of one another. You're going to get you something about a half arm opening along with a clam. Press your heels together. Pinch your shoulder blades together behind your back. Breathe out, open your arm and your leg together. Breathe in and close. So you're opening this left hand side of your body. Breath out to open, breath in and close. Strengthening in between those shoulder blades, all the way down that left side of your spine. Your right waist is working, and of course your left bottom too. Trying to keep my hips stacked, so I'm not rolling back through my hip. And likewise, my shoulder is staying above my right shoulder. Again, holding this position, and with the action of the arm and the leg, you might feel a lot of automatic core work going on. So you might feel your deep transverse abdominis, your pelvic floor, your lower back muscles, all automatically working. If you're not sure, just enhance that a little bit with that baby hug cue or the pelvic floor cue that we practiced earlier. Then see if you can feel it coming on. Now we're going to hold the next one. You're going to hold it here, clam open. Keep the clam still, but rotate that upper body back so you get that arm opening level 2. Bring that back into the middle and then close. So we open both for level 1 And then you take the arm opening all the way back for a greater rotation through that upper back, keeping that bottom working. Come to halfway and close. Let's try 6 more of those. Such a nice chest stretch. It's really common to have that rounded upper back posture in pregnancy and postnatally. So keeping that open chest now before you've got a baby with you, before all that carrying, feeding and lifting, can tighten your chest even more is really important. So I've had a lot of questions about how often to do these Pilates therapy programs. And even now in month 9, it's perfectly safe to keep exercising if we have been through our pregnancy all the way to the end. The recommendation is 30 minutes to 40 minutes of moderate exercise on most days of the week. So if you're including in that maybe some walking, some swimming, some other exercises that you do, if you can fit in your Pilates program 2 or 3 times a week, and that would be really good. Especially now we might have finished work finally and be ready to make some time for ourselves before the baby arrives. Well done. Okay, now last one. This arm is going to come up. It's a stability challenge. That leg is going to come up. We're going to hold it here and we're going to open that leg into a clam. So you really feel that deep seat muscle working. If this is at all uncomfortable, keep your feet closed and either work on a hold or continue with the previous exercise, level 1 clam. So this open chain clam is really good, particularly if you get that knee up, then knee down. Trying to keep that foot in the same spot if you can. Try and keep that bottom waist lifted all the way through. So there's a little bit of light visible underneath that waist. Let's try for 6, 5, 2, and 1. And release down. Okay, now we're going to change sides. So with your legs together, we're going to change ends of our mat. So use your upper body to help you. So you're not jerking or jarring your pelvis. And bring your legs round. Okay, wrapping your arm around that pillow again. Your feet are in line with your bottom. Your waist is lifted. So you do that by drawing your top hip down towards your feet. Create that little space there. Your neck is long, so keep the shoulders down. Then you can bring your hands on top of one another. And you're just going to open up that hand and open up the knee. Pressing the heels together, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Breathe in and close. Breathe out and open. Breathe in and close. Getting this little kind of forward reach, but still squeezing that shoulder blade back. Like someone's holding your shoulder blades together. Keeping that chest open. Trying to keep those hips stacked and the shoulders on top of one another too. Okay, now we're going to take the arm opening into level 2. So we're going to open in the same way. I'm going to hold my hip open. I'm going to take my arm back to the middle and close together. So we open together, hold the bottom there, open the chest and close. Keeping your head looking at your arms so you're not over rotating. Through your neck or through your shoulder. And take it to the point where you feel that stretch through your chest, wherever that might be. You can bend your elbow too, just to intensify that a little bit, if that's not too strong for you. Three more. And final one. Okay, now that arm's going to come up and open, shoulder drawing down, just to give us that stability challenge. The leg comes off the bottom leg and you open towards the sky, and then you draw your knee down towards the underneath knee. So you breathe out and open, breathe in and close. Keep that bottom waist lifted. One more. And relax the tummy. Great work. We're going to come into high kneeling now. So again, using your hands to help you into that sitting upright position, and then walking your knees in. Okay, so if this is comfortable, you can stay here, but it's not great to kind of stay in this position for too long. This puts a bit too much pressure on the blood vessels behind your knees. So if you can come up here, but you can transition between this position and this position if you need to, if you get too tired up here. Okay, so my knees are hip width apart. We're going to do the last exercise now. So what we're going to do is think about releasing through the pelvic floor, releasing through the baby, releasing through the muscles, holding baby in towards our side. So we're not pulling baby in anymore. We're thinking about letting that go. Okay, it can be quite tough, particularly when we're upright and we're busy and we've got children already. We're holding on to that posture. Letting that go, giving our baby and our body some space is really important, but it can be really, really tough. So I'm just going to get you to bring your hands onto your hips. I'm just going to get you to think about pushing that bottom back, letting baby come forwards, releasing baby towards the mat, and with it, the tailbone moves away from your pubic bone and stretches your pelvic floor. And then as you breathe out, that pelvic floor will naturally close, will lift up, baby will get hugged towards your spine and tuck under your tailbone for me, shortening through the front. And then letting go again, letting go of baby, allowing baby to move forwards, bottom to stick out, tailbone pokes out behind your chest, comes forwards. Feel that weight of baby moving down and away, relaxing, letting go. Breathing out, again, tailbone tucking under, pelvic floor lifting, up and in towards the spine, tailbone tuck, feeling baby shrinking again. And then letting go from your ribs. Breathing into it, allowing tailbone to lift out, chest coming down, pelvic floor stretching, tailbone to pubic bone, and then tucking under, pelvic floor comes up and on, tailbone tucks under, hug in. Now we're going to take it back and we're going to hold it. So again, let go of baby. Go of baby, let baby move forwards and down as you tip your tailbone back. Open up your knees to allow a little bit of space for baby and bring your hands just down onto the mat. So that might be low enough. For me, coming all the way down to the mat can just make me feel a bit wheezy, but if it's comfortable for you, then you can come all the way down. I'm going to think about all four corners of your pelvic floor, where it attaches to the front, left and right, and at the back, left and right. So like we've got this handkerchief underneath you. When we do our contractions, that pelvic floor, that handkerchief gathers and lifts up. We're going to now think about flattening that handkerchief out, spreading it out so there's no creases in that handkerchief. So it's still taut, it's still strong, but it's just relaxed. Okay. So breathing in, imagine first gathering that handkerchief, drawing all four corners of that pelvic floor together and up. So you've got that handkerchief lifted. Now breathe out, lower that handkerchief down. Don't push it out, just relax it, let it go. Breathe in. Breathe out, relax it off to the right. Really stretch out that right hand side of that handkerchief. Flatten it out. Breathe in. Breathe out that left hand corner. Relax into that seat. Stretch through your pelvic floor. Release, let it go. Breathe in. Front left. Really sink into that hip. Make sure you're not holding any tension to that pelvic floor. When I say relax, you might feel, oh, I'm relaxed already, but there might also be another level. See if there's another bit that you can relax. Breathe in, relax that right hand corner, stretch and flatten it out. And then see if you can take a few breaths. As you breathe in and out, feel your diaphragm rise and fall. Try and keep your pelvic floor still. Just be aware of what happens. Does your pelvic floor want to tense? See if you can just keep it still or relaxed. No tension there, no pain. One last breath. And release. Okay. Now as we make our way back up, you might feel your pelvic floor is the first thing that comes on. Just see what happens as you transition up and out of that seated position. And come sit on your mat. Brilliant, well done everybody. Thank you so much for those of you who've joined me on this journey. That's the last of our pregnancy series now, months 1 through to 9, and you've done brilliantly. Hopefully I'll see you again with our babies here, and I'll be giving you some tips on your postnatal recovery.